Morning to you.
Good morning.
Miss Frenchco just went to get some water. She'll be right back.
Of course. Everybody please rise. We'll start the day with our pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll just have a moment of silence and you can say a prayer in your own way. Okay, thank you. The next public workshop will be Tuesday, July 25th, 10 a.m. in this room. The next regular meeting will be Wednesday, July 26th, 10:30 a.m. also in this room. And we also have an investment advisory committee meeting Wednesday, July 26th, 10 a.m. before our regular meeting. Madam Clerk.
Mr. Cantala Mesa.
Here.
Ms. Frenchco.
Here.
Mr. Malloy.
Here.
Item number 1, to dispense with reading the minutes of the regular meeting dated July 12th, 2023, and accept and approve the video recording of the July 12th, 2023 Commissioners' regular meeting as the official meeting minutes.
Motion to approve. Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa.
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Because this is incorrect and what I read is as far as the regular meetings also did not define discussion and only listed who participated in discussion, which is incorrect. No.
Item number 2, to approve the bills.
Motion to approve. Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa.
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Item number 3, to decrease appropriations.
Motion to approve. Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa.
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Item number 4, to approve additional appropriations.
Motion to approve. Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa.
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes, and I want to say thank you to Lisa, because this is the first time everything has been listed for the additional appropriations.
Item number 5, to transfer appropriations.
A motion to approve. Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa.
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
I'm gonna say yes, but one of the items is for fixing a line item that was over budget for the court. And I would just encourage them to just send that over and say, hey, we're fixing this because it's over budget, instead of not giving an explanation. So, yes.
Okay. Item number 6, to receive the amended certificate of the County Budget Commission number 13, 2023.
Motion to approve. Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa.
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Item number 7, to approve modification number 1 with Prime AE Group Incorporated for the Yankee Lake Sanitary Sewer Improvement Project number 5, S18, located in Brookfield Township and the Village of Yankee Lake. Modifications for an additional $80,748, revising the total contract amount to $485,732 and include services associated with additional easements, contract document revisions, the relocation of the primary pump station and associated realignments, and also adding an additional pump station and force main along Yankee Run Road.
Motion to approve. Second.
Discussion, I'd like to ask the director some questions about this. I was here yesterday and you didn't come and see me or even respond to the emails that I sent about this agenda item.
All right, when I sent it
Gary,
over.
Gary, state your name, please.
Oh, Gary Newbrow, Trumbull County Sanitary Engineer. Commissioner, I copied the prosecutor's office when I sent this over last week. I reached out to him yesterday with a voicemail, another email this morning. I haven't got a response. There's nothing peculiar about this modification from a legal standpoint. We've done hundreds of these. And speaking with Bill Danzo in the past, he has expressed to me that he's not the gatekeeper of the agenda. And if there is a problem with it, we can always come back and revise the modification.
Okay. So
Now, due to the urgency of this, as I explained to at the workshop yesterday, I recommend that we pass it today because we're jeopardizing $1 million of EPA money if we don't get these revised drawings down to them. And I'm hoping to get these drawings in by September 1st. So you
by
can
September
see-
1st, so there's still time. So I have some
No,
specific
there's
questions.
a lot of modifications.
Okay,
That's
so
not
I have-
scheduled. They don't think Prime AE is expressing to me that I don't know if we can do it. I'm telling them, you guys need to do it. We have to get this in.
So I have specific questions. You said Prime AE is expressing to you. So specifically, when did you find out that it was a problem?
When the state answered an email to me telling me that they don't know if they have their $2 million yet.
No, I'm talking about when did you find out that there was a problem with the preliminary engineering designs and scope?
There wasn't a problem with them. We revised the design in order to put it in cheaper.
Revise the design to put it in, this is going to affect the cost?
Yes, this will lower our cost for the construction of the project.
So again, I'm asking, when did you know that there was a issue with the original design?
We probably knew that, well, when we decided to revise.
Yes,
That was
yes.
probably a couple months ago.
Okay, so this
Okay.
is what where I'm going with this.
Okay,
So a couple months ago, you knew that you were going to have to do a modification, and at that point in time, you didn't send anything to the prosecutor's office for approval. You waited until you sent it over to the agenda. So that I want to underscore that and say that as soon as you know that you have to do something, get it done and get it over to them. And my question is, who did the preliminary engineering and why was it so off? Because this is 20%.
this was not off. This was Prime AE did the engineering, they designed it. Then we found out that we cannot extend one of the gravity lines across a property where a man has, where the property owner has $1 million worth of gravel buried there. And he is getting a mining permit to mine that gravel.
Mhm.
And so we could not get an easement to take it over in order to facilitate the original design. So we had to alter, so we have to alter the design and put a pump station in and to reroute the sewage flow so that we don't have to end up trying to use eminent domain to get this easement, of which we're of the opinion a judge is going to, if we were to use eminent domain, he's going to declare that easement, since it is preventing this man from getting $1 million worth of gravel, we're gonna pay much more than the cost of putting this pump station in and just going around it. And also up by the Yankee Lake ballroom, we realized that if we shift the pump station about 100 feet to the south, we can eliminate a deep gravity line to that pump station. It was gonna be over, I think it was gonna be an average depth of over 22 feet. And we're gonna get that average depth down to 12, which will also save the project money. Now, this is where the state's House Bill 48 money comes in. That we put in a $2 million application for that.
I remember because
Right.
I asked you to put this project in.
Right,
Yeah.
now, if we don't get to $2 million, we need to eliminate that whole southern portion of the project.
Mhm.
Where we have that pump station, all these other things. So I was waiting on approval of that $2 million before we go ahead and authorize them to do the engineering down there. For that pump station and that gravity line, but at the moment, we don't have that luxury anymore. So we have to get these modifications done, but if we don't get to 2 million, that southern portion, we're gonna have to do a separate project in the future to get that done, but at least we'll have the engineering complete.
So there's no additional cost with the operation now that you have a pump station, like a electric or
Yeah,
operation
yes,
cost.
there's an electric bill that'll be associated with it, yes.
So, but
It's
you're still,
additional operation and maintenance, but we are not gonna be paying hundreds of thousands for that easement across that property.
And
Okay.
just to be clear, that was unforeseen. We didn't know the mineral rights were on that property.
Right.
We didn't know the property owner
Yes.
had the
Mhm.
potential to make a lot of money on that property. That's something that you find out during the fact.
Right,
And-
and
but-
it wasn't until we requested the easement that we found out about
Correct.
this, yes.
Okay, so one more question. Who do you work for?
I work for the Board of Commissioners.
Yes, that's what it says on the table of organization. And why are you telling us all this information the day before the meeting when you acknowledged that you were aware of it months ago?
You're not gonna use this to badger,
no.
Mickey. You're not a sanitary engineer.
Yeah.
You're not gonna go in this direction, like, mineral rights, this. You've watched a legal show on TV and you're a lawyer now too. We're not gonna go in this direction. He did a great job with this. He's saving money. We had a great presentation yesterday.
At the end,
I talked to
it's
State
not
Reps yesterday.
it's not about a presentation. This was
I'm
something,
doing
this,
his
this
job.
is a project that was important to me. You knew that I requested, I actually got it in when you weren't even aware of that funding opportunity.
Do you wanna blow it?
No, what I'm saying is you keep the commissioners up to speed with things in advance. You don't wait until the day before the meeting to let us know about these things. I've asked for that courtesy before. Not only do you not come in and speak with me or respond to my emails, you literally do not tell us anything until the day before it comes when you were sitting on that information for months. We need to know because every department head needs to have supervision and to make sure that we know what's going on in the process. We don't just, that is what's missing with our board. They just
Sure.
they just completely rubber stamp and you're so
Commissioner,
accustomed, you're
Nikki,
so accustomed,
Commissioner,
you're so accustomed to just having the board rubber stamp and I don't do that. And you should know that by now. Please bring us this information more than the day before the meeting.
You had every opportunity to email him or call him.
He doesn't
on all
respond.
This information.
He should be
Did
keeping
you
us up
email
to
him?
speed. He should
Did
be,
you email him or call him about this information?
yes.
When? I'd like to
You know-
publicly request those emails.
It is
Because I didn't
his
see-
job because he works for the board to keep us up to speed with.
You
projects
work
as
for
they
the
happen.
taxpayers, and when do you keep them up to speed on what you're doing? Look at them, look at what you
He-
waste with your
this-
employer.
Your gaslighting and deflection is just
The
ridiculous.
only one gaslighting here, Commissioner, is you.
Okay.
Let's move on. Let's take the vote. Vote no if you'd like, but let's. move
Moving
on.
forward, I would,
Moving Forward, let's not.
Moving forward, you can ask 30 times and it'll be no, no, no 30 times, and we'll pass it 30 times if it's correct.
Please take the roll.
Gary, in the future, let us know these things that are going on, if, would you know them? Send an email, say, there's some changes that are going to be coming up. There's another community that does something, it's an information tracking system. I've tried to do things differently in the county, but everyone's so accustomed to just rubber stamping and voting yes. Not that I would vote no on it, but I want to be aware of it in advance. When you see a problem coming up, I mean, you're bringing people who are running for office into your meetings. Okay, but you're not including the commissioners. That's disrespectful. I would appreciate you treating me as
Come to the
You're a
meeting. You could have been
supervisor.
treated the same as we all were.
Yes.
It's a
Yesterday.
Public meeting. Come to the
Yesterday.
meeting.
In public.
Stop these games and come to the meeting.
yesterday is whenever, you brought it to our attention. These are the things that need to be brought, just like the change order that you put in that was 9 months old whenever the first of the 15 started. We need to know these things in
You
advance.
think that's all
Please
he
do
does
things
all day
better.
long is one project at a time?
Please do things.
You know how much is going on in the county? How many tens of millions of dollars he's dealing with every day to provide services to the citizens of Trumbull County? And all you do is try to block them every chance you get. Roadblock, roadblock,
And-
roadblock, roadblock.
Incorrect.
You say gaslight, it's roadblock is your nickname.
No, we need to make sure that the Board of Commissioners is up to speed on these things so that we know
We are
what's
up to
going.
speed. I'm fine. Mara, are you
Yeah,
fine
I'm
with it?
fine. We had a.
That's
public
two out
meeting
of three.
yesterday.
Everyone
You're fine
found
with
it
it.
yesterday.
This was gone over ad nauseum yesterday in a public meeting. You
It's
should have
not,
showed
it's
up.
not about finding out the day
Focus on
before.
Communication is a two-way street.
It's not-
just him.
It's not the day
communicating with you.
before. It
period.
shouldn't happen the day before, but you guys are so accustomed to status quo
Not
and
to
how
the
everything.
meeting.
I,
Ask
that's,
questions before.
it needs to happen in
Communication is a
advance.
two-way
You
street,
don't
period.
bring anything to us the day before and moving forward. Let us know it's coming down the pipelines. Call each commissioner up and say, hey, I want you guys to know this is coming up, and
Would that be a round robin? If I called each commissioner?
no, not to
Yeah.
let it,
Yes,
not to
especially
let,
if there's a decision to be made. It should be done at a public meeting.
not to let us know information.
We have design changes on these projects all the time. I'm supposed to call the commissioners every time. we get a design
Put
changes
together,
project,
put together a tracking system
Engineering related.
For all-
That's-
for all,
It's unsustainable.
for all of
Ineffective.
Yes.
for all of the projects that you have going on, I know how meticulous you are and you keep tabs on them. Update where you are in the process of them. So that you can share that with us.
I have so
Okay.
many things going on. There's not enough hours in a day for me right now to get the things done I'm doing.
Pick up a
It would bog
phone
me
and
down with
email
some
him
sort
for
of
status
course.
updates.
That would be ridiculous too. So.
It would be ridiculous to update the commission. Did you just say that?
Yeah,
Okay.
To do it the way you want to do it, absolutely.
Trying to do. with every design
Absolutely.
change on every project.
You get
yes,
updated every week at our public
Yes.
workshop.
yes.
Okay, no, we don't, because change orders that come in that are 9 months old need to be brought to our attention sooner. That's actually probably going to be an
You know
audit
how many
finding.
changes go on out there on those upgrades to those plans? How many things you go in? Oh, geez. We
Okay,
didn't know this, we didn't know that. It would be a nonstop,
That
dialogue
happens
with the
in every
commissioners if we
capital
were to-
project
if we were
throughout
to
every
try to
county
do
too,
that.
Gary.
yes, and there's normally a county administrator and then who that's
So put
brought to
county
the attention.
administrator on
You got
the
the
agenda
sanitary
to vote on
engineer.
and see if it passes.
Oh, it's
That
not
will put it to
gonna
bed
pass.
once
You'll
and for
probably
all.
move someone else into something else in the county, because I know that's
Again,
how you
you're
do it.
making assumptions. I'm dealing in fact.
Okay,
Mr. Cantala Mesa.
Yeah.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes, absolutely.
Ms. Frenchco.
yes,
Item number 8 is to authorize the Board of Trumbull County Commissioners Clerk to advertise for requests for statement of qualifications or letter of interest for consultant engineering services for the Crane Drive Sanitary Sewer Improvement Project known as County Project Number 7S22, located in Weathersfield Township.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa.
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
yes,
Item number 9, to grant permission to the county engineer to close the roads listed. That's Alex Mills, Herner Road, located in Farmington Township. The road will be closed on Monday, July 17th, 2023, from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's for a culvert replacement. And that will also be Wakefield Creek Road, and that's in Gus Davis Township. The closing date will be Tuesday, July 18th, 2023, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's for a culvert replacement. Stroop Hickox Road, located in Farmington Township. The road will be closed Friday, July 14th, 2023, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. for culvert replacement. Pierce Road, located in Champion Township. And that is for a culvert replacement Thursday, July 20th, 2023 through Friday, August 11th, 2023.
Motion to approve.
Second discussion. Just use an example here. Nobody from the county engineer's office was at our meeting yesterday. But I trust our county engineer and I trust the staff that he has there, that if they're putting this on the agenda, they know their job as engineers and they're closing the roads for the right reason, for the right reasons for the public. So I'm voting yes on this because I trust our colleagues and I trust the people in the department to do their job correctly.
Mr.
Wow. You know, if we're gonna have a discussion over that, routine road closures and permits where we actually receive a copy of them, or I do anyway.
I didn't get a
that-
copy
that-
of any of these permits, did
You
you?
didn't get a copy of any? Yeah. I read everything that I vote on. That's the difference between us.
The other two commissioners didn't get copies of any of these permits.
Okay, so I review everything and these are very straightforward, standard and routine. That is a far cry from 20% modifications or, you know,
Well, I know,
under-
we're closing the
change
neighborhood
orders and
street
things
for
like
almost
that.
a month. I would think that affects a lot of citizens, but I trust they're doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah, they're all for culvert replacements.
And the change orders are all for capital improvement projects that are worth millions and millions of dollars.
Yes, so we need to make sure, there's a difference between contracting and road closures. Our statutory duty is contracting, purchasing, budgeting.
We-
And so,
we-
yeah, well, if you knew, then you would be paying a closer eye to it.
Be paying closer attention to
Yeah.
which. I'm
Are
sorry.
you gonna vote yes or no?
Yeah.
Call the roll. Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Item number 10, to concur with the county engineer to grant the right-of-way permits. That's Dominion East Ohio and Spectrum Mid-America LLC.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Mr. Cantala Mesa.
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes, and I'm happy they're doing some fiber optic projects in the Mesopotamia area. That's really good.
Item number 11, to adopt the alternative tax budget for the next succeeding fiscal year ending December 31st, 2024, effective July 19th, 2023. Authorize Denny Malloy, President of the Board of Trumbull County Commissioners, to execute the alternative tax budget.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Discussion. I know you didn't get a copy of the road closures. Did you get a copy of the alternative tax budget?
I did.
Oh, you did?
I did. I
It was
asked,
yesterday at the
I asked
public
for it
meeting.
yesterday at the meeting and they gave it to me. They gave it to me.
Very good. So did anyone receive a copy of the meeting minutes where the Budget Commission waived the adoption of the annual tax? Because that's the only way that you could do that. It's a statutory process. So in my packet, I did not receive anything to prove that that this happened. And I'd like to make a motion to table it for that reason, because I think that the Board of Commissioners should ensure that the proper process took place before we vote on it. Clerk, are there minutes for this? That show that, are there minutes for this? And they weren't in my packet to show that the Budget Commission actually waived the adoption of the annual tax budget?
I possess no minutes, ma'am.
There are no minutes?
I couldn't answer that. I received this document
So that
as we've done this
So
for,
we're gonna vote on this without knowing that we've actually waived it or proof from the minutes. And then the other question I have is, what about the inside versus outside millage? If you review, did you review the documents that they gave you? Does anyone, huh? Denny, you got a copy of it. You reviewed it and it's okay with you?
I did look at it, yes.
Okay.
And Martha reviewed it with us yesterday, went over it yesterday. the whole
Okay.
Process, and I trust Martha's
You just
staff.
trust people.
Okay.
Okay.
I do.
So I'm
I
looking-
trust other
I'm
departments.
looking at it and so our job is not to trust people. Our job is to be the commissioners and actually make sure
I
that
thought
we're
that's an
verifying what
auditor's
we
job,
vote on.
maybe state auditor.
State audit, no, the budget is our job.
We
I
don't
look at your
serve on the
statutory-
budget commission.
Okay, so
Commissioner.
here is what I want to explain is that I would like to know. Because the one statement in here is undocumented. I was looking for the inside versus outside millage, and none of that is on here. And the statement that we have in here references the outside limit and the inside limit, but it's not filled out. So we're voting on something that's not filled out, and it says that see attached, and there's no attachment either. So not only are you guys about to just vote on something where it's not completed and there's no attachment, even though it says it, you're not even verifying that the proper process took place by getting a copy of the Budget Commission that the minutes that they waived the adoption of there's a
Well,
statutory
first of all,
process.
the prosecutor's office sits on the budget commission,
Sure,
as does the auditor and the treasurer's office.
sure.
If there was something run afoul, we would have known by now. Prosecutor's office.
Because they would have just
we are-
told you.
Excuse me, The prosecutor's office is our legal authority, and they would have told us.
So we just trust that people, if no one
There
tells
are
us, we just,
attorneys, Commissioner,
okay. So where are the minutes? Because
ask the prosecutor's
ask the-
office
the
or the
budget
people that
commission.
serve on the budget commission.
we need to have the minutes that show that this was conducted.
not
Why are you
our
waiting till the day of to ask for it? Why didn't you ask for it a month ago?
This is.
Why didn't you ask for it a week
You
ago?
have 3 separate elected officials that serve on that budget commission board. Ask those 3 elected officials.
Where are the minutes?
Ask the
That
3
board-
elected officials. This board doesn't serve on the budget commission. board.
Unfortunately, your meetings that you claim are public and proper still don't have
Where are we going
meeting
with this?
meeting
Let's-
minutes.
this is
What I'm
ridiculous.
saying,
You want to play these gotcha games?
No.
every week, and you-
I was hoping you have an opportunity to talk when I'm done.
Smartest person in the room.
You
you're
can,
not.
you
I'm
can have
sorry.
that opportunity when I'm done. Be a gentleman and wait till I'm done
Be a
speaking. Your
lady.
turn is
You're
after
interrupting
mine.
me, too.
Your
I don't-
turn is after mine. So the prosecutor's office has actually, in fact, attended some of those workshops, but they're not verifying that our clerk is doing things right, or we wouldn't be in the situation, you wouldn't
The
be.
budget commission.
We're talking about exactly the budget commission, and stop talking until I'm done.
You are not.
So
making
there-
any sense,
there are-
Commissioner. You're all over the map. We're talking about the budget commission. Now you're talking about the workshops. Which is it?
Are you done?
Yes.
So we have a problem in Trumbull County where minutes haven't been done and they haven't been kept and they haven't been done properly. Wait till I'm done.
No. I'm not gonna have you
There,
sit up here.
there are,
Chairman, you guys address it.
there are no meeting minutes for the public workshop. They're required to be taken and to be approved at the next meeting. There have been public records requests for the budget commission's meeting minutes because those have been not always available and done properly either. So it's a problem in Trumbull County where meeting minutes aren't being done properly. And we do need to verify and not just assume that because an attorney was there, that it was done properly. Because sometimes the attorneys come to these meetings as well, your meetings, and there are still no meeting minutes for those. Just like they might be serving on the budget commission meeting, but I'd like to see the proof that the meeting minutes were done and that it was done properly.
Them certifying. I'm
Oh.
talking about them being a member of the budget commission board. And if there's something that would come up that the board would need to be aware of, they are statutory legal counsel for the board. They would let us know.
They would.
They would.
No, they don't. They say everything that we do is an administrative decision, and that's one of the
So now
reasons
you're
why they
saying
back out of
prosecutor's office
everything.
Doesn't do their job.
It is,
You're insinuating that the prosecutor's office, the auditor's office, and the treasurer's office isn't doing their
I
job.
will say that the prosecutor's office has refused to give me information that you guys have submitted to them without your approval. So I can say I don't
can't
believe the
speak to that.
prosecutors.
You're all over the map.
I read that
Obviously,
email,
you are.
attorney-client privilege, they said.
Topic.
Yes, the actual topic is special note, the Trumbull County Budget Commission has waived the adoption of the annual tax budget. Where is our verification as a Board of Commissioners to show that that actually occurred before you vote on it?
We do not serve on the budget commission.
So then,
Ask the 3 elected officials who do.
so then we should have the minutes that say that it occurred before we vote on it and.
That
what-
is your prerogative. If you
Okay.
choose to do that, vote no, and then we'll move on.
And
This doesn't need to be as complicated as you're.
it
making
might be nice.
Unless you want to do procedural gymnastics on every single issue, doesn't mean that the rest of the board has to.
Correct. You can just rubber stamp.
No, we have to get things done in this county.
This
We
could
can't
wait.
Look for holes in.
This
every
can
sort
wait
of
till next,
procedure.
this could wait till next week to make sure it's done right.
Everything can wait till next.
Can we
week
see
with
the-
you. It's
where's the
always kicking the
attached?
can down the road.
Where's the
Let's
sta-
take the vote.
Where's, okay, I'm gonna say this again. It says see attached and there is no attached and this form's not filled out.
We're gonna move forward.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Because we have no proof that they waived that the Budget Commission waived the adoption because there are no certified minutes. And because the packet that we were given does not include the inside and outside mill limit. And it says to see attached and there is no attachment, I have to vote no.
That was easy. Let's just do that.
Item number 12, to approve the following liquor permits. They are from Ray and S LLC and Patio to Italian River LLC and Patio. We have from Leonardo's Incorporated, doing business as Uptown Pizza to Uptown Belmont Avenue, and that's in Youngstown. We have from ELD Dono Frio Incorporated, doing business as Mr. D's Food Fair, Maybrook Mall. and that's to KD Brothers Incorporated. We have a new one with Yankee Run Golf Course Incorporated doing business as Yankee Run Lounge, and a new one with McPickles LLC doing business as the Links by the Tracks.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Item-
And I'd like to make a motion to table agenda item number 13 and 14.
Motion dies for lack of a second. Madam Clerk, number 13.
Item number,
I'd like to make a motion to restructure the Human Resources Office to add an HR manager, to add an employee relations specialist / administrative assistant, and to eliminate the remaining positions with the exception of the Human Resources Director.
Motion dies for lack of a second.
item number 13, to approve the promotion of Ms. Rebecca Smith to the position of Human Resources Executive Assistant. The job description has been revised to absorb more responsibilities. Therefore, Rebecca would move from a pay range 8, step 7 at $24.83 per hour to a pay range 9, step 7, that would be $26.47 per hour, effective Monday, July 24th, 2023.
A motion to approve.
Second.
This discussion, I spoke with the HR director, Alex, over a month ago about restructuring some things in Trumbull County. I specifically said that I thought that our Human Resources office should have been restructured, and gave the suggestion, which she at the time agreed with, to include an HR manager, someone with qualifications. And the other part of the suggestion was to include an employee relations specialist as the assistant. What's going on here is what I suggested was then flipped into something where you're sliding an employee into a position without advertising. So we've got someone who filled another role at $19 an hour, was advanced into the interim position, and then slid into a higher position without any public advertisement. Happen to know that there are people, even within Trumbull County, who have graduate degrees in public administration. We have people who have who are SHRM certified that are also working in the county. And if we were to open this up and advertise externally, we might even find and attract more talent. This is an example of what happens in Trumbull County on a regular basis. People get slipped into positions and slid up the ladder when they're favorites. And we need to create a setting where we're attracting talent and giving everyone in the county an opportunity to advance, as opposed to letting people slide here and there without advertising publicly or posting internally. It's unfair.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
For those reasons that I stated, no.
Item number 14, to advertise for 15 days internally and externally for the position of Human Resources Coordinator, pay range 8, within the Human Resources Department.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
No, because I disagree with this restructure. It's not what I suggested. And I've been here long enough to see what that department needs. But yet the two commissioners are taking the advice and
Please
suggestions.
just
of a new
state your
person-
vote and move on.
Of a new person
We
with
went-
no
we went a year and a
with
half.
no experience.
We couldn't find a person
Find
that
people.
wanted.
We had
to even-
people
Not
leave the
true.
department because of you. We had.
Not true.
We could provide the document. A person left the
No.
department because of you. We couldn't attract
We
talent
did.
in there because of you. And now you're criticizing what we do have. And the people.
What you're saying is gonna move on.
Excuse me, excuse me.
Every time this was advertised,
There were
Excuse me.
60 to 70 applicants for these positions. And there has been no shortage of people who wanted that position, who would like to have a management position in Trumbull County externally. What you're saying is completely false, and I'm tired of you using our meetings and this dais for political attacks.
Yeah.
It's not
There are things in
acceptable.
writing that
These are
the rest when
factual.
they came
These
in,
are
people
factual.
that
Commissioner. We'll
withdrew,
give them to the press right after.
that withdrew
Yeah.
because they didn't want to work with Commissioner Nikki Frenchco. They were afraid she would attack them like she attacks
That's
every other department head.
that's
And that's
completely
the truth.
false.
We had an employee leave and I have his resignation letter that I already presented to, or his transfer letter that I already presented, because he
Yes.
didn't want to be subjected to your.
That's
abuse anymore in
incorrect.
That office.
That's
He-
incorrect.
he
And
was
and
a model
that's
employee.
He was a
incorrect.
model employee, perfect,
Incorrect.
perfect employee, perfect file, and the auditor's office got him and they're very
It's-
thankful to get
It's
him.
the,
'cause he didn't
it's
wanna
the
be in the same
politics.
office
It's the
as you.
politics. It's the politics. And at the beginning of the letter, Commissioner Malloy requested that I write this. Okay, we know what you guys are up to. It's not lost on the public.
Who?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? What letter are you talking about? Please produce that letter, a public records request for that letter, please. So. There is no letter. that says-
We're gonna move on.
Item number 15, to approve the personnel action for the employment of Mr. Kyle Scott to the bargaining position of automotive technician 1, pay range 9, 0 years, will pay $21.70 per hour with the Trumbull County Vehicle Maintenance Department, effective Monday, July 31st, 2023.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Do we have a grid that shows all the applicants? Because I only received a handful of them, but it didn't say if they were all of them. Was it all of them? Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure that was all of them, but I prefer to see a grid, with their background and everyone's, not just the one that's coming.
Mr. Cantala Mesa.
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Item number 16, to authorize the Board of Trumbull County Commissioners clerk to advertise for request for statement of qualifications or letter of interest for consultant engineering services for the State Road Water Regionalization Project number 2W 23 located in Champion and Southington Townships.
I don't have that on my agenda.
It's on your new one.
So this was just added today.
You should have checked your email. I got it last night,
No.
as did Morrow
I got it. Yes.
in our emails. So
It was my error, ma'am. He sent it to agenda in one. So when he saw the agenda, I had to add it. It was my error. So I added the backup and it to your agenda. So when I wrote new, it should be on yours as number 16.
I keep my notes on this one. So if you ever put a new one out, can you just put it out here or
I did.
and
It's
highlight-
there. I wrote new. ma'am,
highlight
in
the
it for you.
difference? So the
Yeah,
only
there's another
thing,
one in front of you that says new.
I brought my folder out because I actually review everything.
Need a motion?
A motion to approve.
Can we wait a moment, please? This wasn't on my agenda yesterday or anyone's, I don't believe.
Actually was. We talked about it at a public meeting.
We did.
Talked about the different water source that we're going to be utilizing.
And here's
instead of
my
Sioux
agenda.
Falls.
It's not on
Can I
here.
finish, please? You're interrupting me. You have any
Well, don't say
questions
that don't say something inaccurate to
Here's-
say that it
Here's
actually
my,
was. when it
here's my
wasn't.
agenda from yesterday that I
on the
used in
agenda
the public
yesterday.
meeting. and It was
Talked
right
about
there.
At the agenda-
So-
So if you'd have checked your email yesterday or
Would've
come
had
here
it.
yesterday, got a copy of it, you would have seen it.
The clerk admitted an error, but you still want to beat me up. Thanks.
No, it was corrected at the workshop. Yes.
Okay. She acknowledged she didn't give it to me, so
have a
it's okay.
motion.
It's okay. But just moving forward, please just make sure that I get it because I'm reviewing all.
Okay, we have a
day and
motion on the
night.
floor.
I made a motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa.
Yeah.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.
Okay, that conducts all of the regularly scheduled agenda items for today. Do we have any items from the board or from the floor? Martha Yoder, please approach the mic.
Good morning, Martha Yoder, Trumbull County Auditor. I just wanted to let you guys know that we did receive the money for the elevator. So we just need to get it into the proper fund and make that allocation so that we can start that process. Just want to let you guys know that.
Thank you.
Also at yesterday's workshop, we talked about the cell service and internet at the fairgrounds and how that was an issue. The connectivity was an issue. I met yesterday with Tim Hannaford and Bill Hart regarding those issues. Mr. Hannaford mentioned that they had met with AT&T in the past as far as actually trying to change our provider from AT&T or from Verizon to AT&T. And one of the things that came up during that meeting was that there is something called FirstNet, which can provide like an on-site type of service. But he's unsure if that would be something that would be available to the community at large when we have an event like the fair, or if it would just be for us, for the county. So he's going to look into that, reach out to actually both AT&T and Verizon to ask some questions as far as cell towers out there, this particular service, if Verizon has anything like that. So we have that part of the approach. We wanted to take a two-pronged approach though, because part of the issue out there as well is the lack of broadband. And so he's reaching out to Brightspeed and Spectrum. And of course, as you know, if you have a good Wi-Fi, even if you don't have the towers for the cell, you can kind of piggyback onto the Wi-Fi. I actually do that at my house because I don't have good service because I live out in the country. So unfortunately, though, when my Wi-Fi is down, then the electric is down, like we've had my cell phone becomes a brick. So we want to kind of look at it from a two-pronged approach, but I just want you to know that we'd already started on that. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And that
Yeah,
was
I'm sorry, that's a problem that even that happens regularly when the towers are inundated, then the service becomes a problem. One of the things that I've been reached out to again, and I've reached out back to Eastgate, is they have put on an application, an ARPA application, and we as a Board of Commissioners and last year and even this year talked about committing to funding what they were working on, and we are the only county to date that has not appropriated or committed that money yet. So I want to see we include that on next week's agenda, because that's a big problem when we're the only ones that have not put in for the project that Eastgate's working
I
on.
understand your concern, and I'm sharing your concern. I'm just saying that we still have money left over, and that's done by design, because we do know that there are things we need to fund with broadband. So that's why we've been so careful with the spending. That's why we've limited some of the things that we've been doing. There is, a plan in place where we are going to fund some broadband projects, and obviously the fairgrounds is one of those. So.
And I actually have a meeting with Eastgate and Mr. Christian immediately after this meeting to discuss exactly that. And I'll have some details of that for next week's meeting.
Did want him to reach out to you, so I'm glad. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Glenn, City of Niles, Trumbull County, lifelong resident. Picking up the newspaper today, we see more settlements from the county, and also the demeaning conduct of a third of the board. I'd like to know if there's any way that we can get some kind of refresher counseling in human rights, employees' rights, that they do not get treated by their department heads or with indignant action. we've settled a few $100,000 or more settlements, and there's more coming. You know, this print media wants to say that all the suits are dismissed, but that's false. So be aware that there's more coming down the line. And Judge Pearson heard the other case that awarded an employee $250,000. So, you know, this one's going to her bench again. So I don't think there's anything wrong with refreshing in what you can and can't do as far as treating the employees or your coworkers, or as a matter of fact, citizens in general with some dignity and respect. Thank you.
Anybody else from the public?
I'd like to speak to that uninterrupted. Because
Can I sit down now?
no, you can sit down.
I'd like to respond after your response. Rebuttal.
It's not rebuttal. You have your 2 minutes to speak. Finish your 2 minutes then, sir.
No, I think I have.
We got 35 seconds. We can reserve if you want to reserve that time.
No.
Yeah, reserve the time.
Okay,
please. Thank
we'll
you.
do that.
I have released this to the media, but I unfortunately, they haven't corrected their story, or the other board members of commissioners didn't correct their statements. So here's what happened with that lawsuit.
Which one, ma'am? There's
I-
multiple. Be specific, please.
I would ask.
Please control
specific
him.
too. But
No, please ask them to sit until it's time to come back for the 3 minutes
you have a seat there.
and
That's fine.
no speaking.
Okay.
At the beginning of this year,
Just so you know, if you
Yeah,
open this can of worms, we have the opportunity to speak also, more on myself or anyone else in
that's
here.
fine.
So I'm just letting you know, before you speak and you open this up,
Mhm.
just know there will be other sides of the story that will follow behind you. So I would tread with caution if I were you.
And there's public record available for anybody if you open this up. But go ahead.
There were 3 ethnic discrimination lawsuits filed by one attorney. That attorney is Enzo Cantalamesa's most recent private practice law partner.
That is not true.
You can look it up.
It's not true.
Okay, let me talk. Heard that. The same case was triplicated for all 3 employees by the same attorney. One was dismissed by the judge. The other one was dismissed by a judge. But the one, because the docket was and the deadlines were extended and discovery hadn't even been completed, had a different course. Back in January, when the new commissioner took office, they were having public meetings or their workshops where they were allowing employees to talk for a long time about things that they weren't supposed to be talking about. So our attorney sent a letter to the other commissioners that related to their failure to cooperate with counsel and for their failure to comply with course's requirements.
I got no such letter
Okay.
telling me that I was failing to comply with anything. Produce that letter.
The only letter that was sent,
I'm not done.
That's a lie.
I'll share it.
Okay, good.
I already have. At that juncture, a conflict of interest was created because that attorney represented both me in my individual capacity and the Board of Commissioners. They created a conflict of interest. Due to that conflict of interest, the attorney who had been working on the case for 2 years and had already successfully, I'd say, adjudicated us relative to the Ohio Civil Rights Commissions,
There's no
Had-
us in this
had-
story. There's
had-
no us.
had to withdraw as counsel. When she withdrew as counsel, Corsa then had to assign 2 new teams of attorneys because of the board's failure to cooperate with Corsa.
No, because we were saying the truth
So-
and the truth didn't fit your narrative and the truth meant
Okay,
people were gonna. be
I'm not
compensated for
done.
your
I'm not
actions.
done. So when they had to then assign new counsel because they couldn't control their, it's called client control. They weren't able to get their clients, who were the Board of Commissioners, not myself, to cooperate with the council and to cooperate with Corsa's requirements. They knew they had a problem because they had to get 2 new law firms and 4 new attorneys up to speed because the rest of the board didn't want to comply with Corsa's or cooperate with council. So once,
Was that when you wanted to put them in different positions and I wrote a letter to our attorney saying that that's not what we do here? Is that what you're? is that
No,
what you're,
I'm not finished.
discussing? Okay, because you and your attorney.
I'm not, I said I'm not finished. If you want to wait, you can wait. And there
There
was no elaborate.
Sneak
no.
people into different positions that they weren't qualified for in exchange for them dropping lawsuits. And I have that documented if you'd like.
Okay, that's fine. He's off topic, but when the federal judge requires you to mediate, you have to discuss the mediation. So what he's referencing was our attorney cooperating with the judge and coming to us to discuss something. And he audio taped an executive session, which is completely unheard of. So back to what happened. I was already dismissed as a
You
party.
went on Facebook and said you
I
won,
was-
and it was a lie.
I was already,
Paid $225,000
What
because
did-
of your
did-
actions, and you're still
You
trying
had
to
a
take a
case that
victory
was
lap
unable
and
to
say,
be
wait, don't look at
adjudicated
that. I won, I
because we
won.
lost our-
Listen to
you
me,
know
don't
what?
believe the facts.
Okay.
That's what you're doing.
so let me finish.
It isn't funny.
It's-
It's real money. It's her money.
It's
his
not.
Money. It's his money. It's his money that we paid out to these people because of
Who
your.
paid it out?
actions.
Who paid it out?
The insurance company.
So the statement,
happens to
the
a premium?
state,
Real money.
the statement to the media, the false statement by Cantal Mesa was that it was at the taxpayers' expense. And it
is.
sure,
It
it
is.
sure
We
was.
pay the premium.
Those premiums
Two
go
hundred
up.
$50,000 more already before this last
Those
case.
premiums go up.
What's it gonna be next year?
The reason why they had to,
Won't be here next year
the-
because they're gonna drop us.
the reason why this happened was because of the other 2 commissioners' failure to cooperate with council. And that is why
The
that is
reason
why,
this happened is 'cause
that
other
is why-
commissioners told
I've
the
never seen
truth.
anything like this.
that is why
The
the,
other 2 commissioners told the truth about what we saw.
let
what
me
we
finish.
witnessed in the
You can
office.
talk afterwards.
That's why they said, damn it, we better pay because we're
Not
gonna
true.
lose our ass in court if this makes it to a jury trial. That's what happened. Cause you can't. shut
Are you
your
guys
mouth
done?
about
Can I
employees.
finish my, can I
You
finish
can't
speaking?
respect employees.
Can you finish the line?
I want to
There's
finish
your attorney
speaking.
calling, telling you
Get
to
your
shut the
hand
hell up.
out of my face.
There's your attorney on the phone right now
Attorney's
telling
on
you,
the
shut
phone
up,
right there.
Nikki. So I would take your attorney's advice. He's on the phone. Mr. Beecher's is saying, Nikki, please shut your mouth. You're making it difficult for me. But go on, continue. I like Mr. Beecher, so I'd like to see him have a nice house and drive nice cars because of you.
What I don't like to see is the county's insurance premiums go up because
The-
of the
maybe you-
professional actions and conduct of one individual.
Then maybe you
All
should,
having-
maybe you should cooperate with council. That's the reason why this happened, was because you
Yeah, it wasn't
failed
your
to
action.
cooperate
It
with.
wasn't how you treated individuals.
Absolutely.
You're right.
So
You're right.
then the Corsa with the new council, by the way, the new council was someone who had represented Enzo Cantala Mesa in the past. So Enzo, so his brother's last attorney became the new Corsa counsel and hand selected a mediator. When he selected the mediator, it was required, oh, turn my mic back up.
So.
So,
what you're
no,
saying is
turn
you're-
my mic back
you're
up.
Implying that this attorney.
David
Right.
Beecher's probably pulled the plug.
No, this is,
You're implying that your attorney from Corsa,
Hello?
Corsa-assigned attorney,
Okay.
did something unethical in this, right? Because that's, you're opening yourself up to a lot of litigation.
so let me finish this.
Watching explode.
Yeah, no,
It is.
I'm gonna finish this. Well, if you guys would actually allow me to speak uninterrupted, that would have been nice.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not going to allow her to have the forum here and just.
No,
call out
I
lies
had the
about
opportunity.
county. I move to adjourn.
No.
This is ridiculous. You can call your own press conference. Thi-
Wait,
this
wait,
is
I'm
off
not,
the rails.
I'm not done. And my mic's being turned off too. This is
And the
cute.
county is only going to be exposed to further litigation if we don't stop.
It's turned.
They probably turned it down because you yelled into it, so they probably turned it down so that you don't get fuzz and distortion.
It's also noteworthy, and I want this to be known too, is that the employee who did receive, first of all, we were court ordered to mediate, and I was not allowed to participate in the mediation. So that there was a false statement put out to Judge Pearson with that dismissal that said that all parties were there participating,
You there on Zoom?
that all parties were
There on Zoom?
stop interrupting,
You were
that all parties
there.
were present.
I
My
can't
attorney,
give
and I will
this
share
legs.
this.
These are lies and
attorney-
innuendo. And
my
I
attorneys-
honestly, you're
okay.
opening the county up to further liability. I'm not going to be a part
My
of it.
attorney sent an email saying, please leave mediation open because my client has not had an opportunity to participate. So the judge was lied to. And I did nothing about that because Corsa has the ability to settle. And I think a lot of people are missing the fact that the person who got that settlement got hired as a favor, got promoted as a,
Whom?
got promoted as a favor.
Nikki, I
got
hope
pay-
she sues the pants
got
right off of you again.
pay
This is
raises,
ridiculous.
Pay raises.
Unreal.
This is
favors,
ridiculous.
Bananas.
res-
Really, it is.
Restructured her job. And then as soon as they restructured. her job,
Everybody in the county's
they
against Nikki. That's
and-
what she
and
said.
since they
Everybody.
restructured Her job, they took away some of the duties that they used to justify that increase. In addition to that, her brother ran for my seat. And no one realizes that her brother actually ran for commissioner twice.
You're talking
Once for
about
my
this
seat.
employee right here.
Yep.
Okay. You can't continue to rail against employees and make up facts that you have no knowledge
These
of.
are facts.
You can't. You
These are
can't.
facts.
It's innuendo and assumption. You were not here when she was hired. It's
And
absolutely
and let me
ridiculous.
talk about the only remaining,
Listen to your attorney
Okay,
and he's buzzing in.
so the only remaining.
David,
claim-
please come get a hold of her.
the Only remaining.
Or Miller down in Cincinnati or somebody,
The only
please
remaining-
yank
So
the
we will
cord
have to-
on your
we will
chair.
have to-
The only remaining.
I'm giving her
claims-
rope. I'm
the
giving her
only-
rope.
No, Go.
Because this is, she's sinking a ship herself. They're on.
The only remaining claims that were against me related to intentional infliction of emotional distress and defamation for me actually sharing something that was truthful and a clip of her on the news. And that's hard. That would have been dismissed. I would have been dismissed as a party if it would have gotten to that
You
point.
don't know what would have happened.
Yeah.
Insurance companies just don't
Well,
throw money
Corsa
away.
felt
'cause they got
otherwise
it
and thought we
set
would get
free.
our, you know what, handed to
Adams-
us. That's why they said, we're
Adams-
not in the business of
Adams
giving people
dismissed-
money for no reason.
Adams dismissed the other case and this.
On a procedural thing.
No.
Yeah.
And
You
this.
can lie all you want, Nikki. People are seeing right through your lies. Everywhere we go, we have to, we're
Your
embarrassed.
failure to.
We have to
Your failure to cooperate. with
answer questions
counsel is
about
the
you.
Reason this had to go.
No, me telling the truth to council, the way you act to employees is what made them back away from Morrow and my testimony and made them realize she really is as bad as they say she is. We represent her because we have to. We're an insurance company. Let's minimize our
You know
losses
what?
in this
If you keep it
situation.
up, we won't have them for long in this county. God help us. If Corsa drops us, because
You're
it's
driving
gonna be
this
so
county right
expensive
into
to
the
pay for
sea,
something like that.
right into a
And
brick
you are
wall.
gonna have to
and
look
you're
in the mirror,
driving.
Commissioner.
So you have worked, so there, here we are. It's just a new effort to favor broke in Trumbull County. You know, first it's just hiring, it's raises, it's promotions, it's assistance, it's help with workers' comp claims that are being done and unfought. And now this is just another tool in the favor broking arsenal. We can help people with
It is completely
litigation.
bananas. It is.
You were advocating for the plaintiff and that was the
I
problem.
feel uncomfortable being around
Yeah.
you, honestly. I really
Okay.
do.
I wish we could have a motion to censure anything she says, because I don't want to be in this car ride with her as she drives it into traffic. I'm a commissioner. It has to be along with every suit.
Fortunately, it falls
Because I am on the
entire
board of
board.
commissioners, and every time she does an action, myself and Commissioner Canham Lace are responsible for that action. I've already asked attorneys, I've already asked Attorney General, I've already asked judges, how do we get out of this damn car and serve the public without being responsible for her mouth every single day?
The client, the employee had no damages.
We can't impeach
So
you.
there
We
were-
can't
there-
remove you.
there were
We
no
can't censure
damages.
you.
There were absolutely no.
Lawmakers need to
damages.
change that law.
Like
There
a
were
broken
There
record.
were no damages to that person either. I mean, there were no monetary damages.
Orsa
The
seemed to feel
government-
otherwise.
Yep.
There were-
Insurance felt otherwise. You're right. Attorneys felt otherwise.
Only because they had uncooperative clients and they had to.
Truthful clients.
Trying to wrap their arms around things. I don't think what you're saying makes sense.
We have documents, we have sworn depositions from your colleagues.
Okay.
We have medical evidence that I had to.
David Beatrice is probably driving here 90 miles an hour right now through traffic in Youngstown, trying to get here to stop her.
I just wanted to say, you're not off the hook. Because it got moved from a federal to a lower court, we're gonna appeal it to the death.
Okay,
Because you're responsible for hurting her, and a lot more other people.
okay.
So put your armor on, because it's not over yet, man.
I got my armor on.
I understand.
And good luck, safety.
Anything else? You done? Okay, I guess let's entertain a motion. I think she's
Make a
said
motion to
enough.
adjourn. I think we've
She's dug a big
gone off
enough
the
hole.
rails enough.
Second that motion.
Anthony Mesa.
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
Ms. Frenchco.
Yes.